Watch this.
Wake up to reality.
There's no fucking help.
All right, welcome to another episode of Reality Tonic. I am your host, Spencer, alongside my famous co-host, Rob. Rob, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. As we know, Rob is useless being the co-host. I've gotten nothing but negative reviews, but he will never, ever go away. So
Thank you.
Sorry. He does all the editing and stuff like that. However, I know we just got off the rails there for a second, but we have a very special guest. This is a man that is, I believe, is twice my age, and he is a stand-up comedian. He has been, you've been in movies, right, Bob?
Porn, if you want to call porn movies.
Yep,
yeah,
he's been in several adult films. He was also part of the Howard Stern Show, and he is host of Miserable Men Show. Please welcome the Reverend Bob Levy.
Hey, thank you guys.
Welcome.
It's an honor to be here. Sorry we had a misunderstanding earlier because somebody canceled yesterday. They go, we can't do it. I read them the email and I go, I thought that was you guys. So I go out and hanging out and I fucking go, I see sent a link. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And I was like, all right, let me get home.
Yeah, Rob didn't have any faith in you. Rob said,
Not true.
just a typical celebrity.
Obviously, I said that.
So, Rob, Bob Levy was on the Howard Stern Show.
Yes.
He's a stand-up comedian. But besides that, I want to start from the beginning. My beginning. Because I'm doing some research, and you, sir, you were a pro wrestler?
Well, yeah, I mean, I made $50, so that makes me a pro, right? But
Yes.
but
you were on the independent circuit.
Yeah, I trained in that stuff because I did Vince McMahon's son's, Shane's bachelor party. Me and Jim Norton, and they liked me I knew a lot about wrestling, and they said, maybe you should get some training, and maybe we can use you on the mic and take hits and that. And I did all that. My friend had the Monster Factory, and he goes, just train here for nothing. And I had fun, did some matches, and nothing came of it. But I got to wrestle. So, I mean, that was pretty cool.
And what was your wrestling name?
The Heartbreaker, Bobby Slayer. What do you think it was? Huh?
Wow.
Nice.
So you just did one match?
No, I did 4 probably in front of an audience, but you always practice in matches and that shit. It was painful. It was unbelievable. I've been married 4 times and this was more painful.
And how old were you when you were doing the wrestling thing?
I think I was 34. So I was I look like a broken down Shawn Michaels.
You know what though? I have a lot of respect for you because I'm 33. And right now I want nothing more than to be a pro wrestler. But I'm married, I have kids, my wife thinks it's creepy. However, now with this podcast and stuff, I have the excuse to go and hang out at the wrestling matches and do all that stuff. But you were 34 and you decided, shit, I'm gonna be a wrestler. I'm gonna try this out.
Well, why not? You know what I mean? You got to do whatever you want to do. People don't do. They always say, "Oh, I wish I would have done that." I can't say I wanted to bang porn stars. I wanted to bang strippers, and I've done that too. And I finished my goals sometime on their face.
Look at that. So you do the wrestling thing, obviously an epic fail. When does stand-up comedy happen?
Way before then. Yeah. I mean, what do you think? I fucking came from wrestling? No.
Yes, that's in my head. That's what I want.
Oh, yeah, of course you do. It makes it, when you come, it makes it feel better in your mind. I know what you're talking about. No, but I started, I was like 28, I started. And it was great. It was like, it took me 2 years of open mics and I was headlining at the end of that. So I was like, wow, this is pretty fucking good for a guy that knew nothing about comedy.
So you're headlining as a comic. What kind of money are we making? Are we making independent wrestling money, or are we doing all right, a couple $100 a night or something?
Like $450 for a weekend back then, $600, something like that. Yeah, it was cool. I mean, it was better than cutting lawns,
So have you ever had like a 9-to-5 job with benefits and all that stuff, or have you always been funny.
Like, yeah, no, I can't do that. I can't be told what to do. I'm very bad. when somebody talks down to you, it gets me really mad, and I'm not going to get yelled at by somebody. That's why I had to do something. It was either this or kill people for a living, because what else are you going to do? Like, I'm going to go to a job and fucking sit there all day. I don't even have an alarm clock. It's fucking great.
You just do your thing.
Yeah, I wake
That's
up when
awesome.
somebody fucking checks and see if I'm alive.
So, and where'd you grow up? New York?
Yeah, grew up. I was born in Brooklyn, moved to Staten Island, did a lot of living there, and then moved to Jersey. My first marriage, moved more south. The second one, third, moved more south, moved more south again.
Wow. There's a trend there.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
you're doing stand-up comedy, what year is this, and who are the other big players at that time?
You're looking about 1988, and who was big? Like,
Is that like Eddie Murphy or something?
Sam Kinison was
Oh,
big.
yeah.
I remember him being around. Just like people you wouldn't even know. I think some guy, John Fox, was around. He was big. John Mulrooney. These guys were excellent, and you still hear from some of them around, but I guess most of them are dead. I don't know. You see them for a little while, and then it's like you have friends in the business for a long time, but then you have people you knew, and then you haven't talked to for fucking years, and then you see them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird.
So you see were you cool with the Dice Man back then, or was he like?
No, I didn't really knew. I mean, he used to come to Pip's Comedy Club in Brooklyn, because he lived in Brooklyn, and do spots, but I don't really, know him, we don't hang out.
All right. So how long were you doing comedy where you were able to just completely make money off of comedy and nothing else? Like, when did that start?
Basically after the 2 years,
Wow.
I mean, no matter what, I was going to live on whatever I made, put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Make it work.
Yeah, that's what you have to do, because you can't, if you're going to be serious, you can't have a day job. You have to go, look, if you have a backup plan, that means you're going to fail at what you're doing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I agree. You're a guy that definitely went all in. So to me, you're a road comic, right? You're always on the road. You're always doing stuff, right?
But not always on the road. I haven't.
You're not?
I was in a car accident like 4 years ago, so I mean, I was off for a while and come back here and there. But like, traveling sucks. That's the worst thing.
It seems like it'd be cool. I mean, for me,
yeah, it's cool. It's cool when you're single and fucking you just banging everything. Yeah, that's the fucking greatest fucking thing in the world. You know what I mean? Now you settle down. You're like, maybe that wasn't a good idea with the other marriages. So you got to kind of do it right once.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's get to the Howard Stern part of it. Do you consider being on the Howard Stern show, like, was that your peak? Or
that is the peak for a comedian at that time. That was the peak. Late night shows were not, once Carson was done, that it meant nothing. It did nothing. Being on Howard meant everything when you went out and worked. It's just the way it was. It was so powerful back then.
So how'd you get on the show?
I blew him. I jerked him off. No, stop it. Stop it, Rob.
I'm sorry.
Come on, Rob.
Come on, stop it. We're trying to have a fucking interview here.
That's right.
Very unprofessional.
I think Jim Florentine was working with Casey, was doing a little, Casey Armstrong was doing a little comedy too.
Rob, do you remember Casey Armstrong, the big jack dude on Howard Stern?
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, nice. You'll know. He was handsome.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'll show you him after. But go ahead.
So Jim told him a story about me eating blue cheese out of girls' asses after the show.
Yes.
During the show, I mean, and sometimes after, it went that way. And I guess Howard thought it was interesting. And I called in first, and then I think I sat in once, and then the Meaningless Listener contest started. And I went in for that. I was like, maybe I shouldn't go in. I remember like comedians going, you don't want to be the meanest list, but I was like, no, I'm going to do this. Yeah. And it paid off well. That was like fucking strong.
All right. So, but before then, you didn't know like Artie or any of those guys yet?
No, nobody up there. I didn't know any of them. No.
So you did touch base on something. that my friend Rob does find very controversial and insulting. You mentioned that you were eating blue cheese off of a woman's...
No, out of her asshole, inside. I go deep.
Okay. And when did that start? And now do you have to do that every single show?
Well, it started in South Carolina, like maybe in '94. We did a show. It was me and Florentine and somebody else, and there was this girl that looked like Whitney Houston hanging out at the bar after the show, and she needed money for something, and we just came up with an idea that we would put together some money, and I think we came up with like $38, and then we eat blue cheese out of her ass. But it was in South Carolina, it's in like a mustard package, like at a game, you know? So it was like, instead of a bottle, like Florentine's like opening one at a time and fucking putting it there. And it was like, and then the next night I go on stage, I get a standing ovation. People have blue cheese bottles there.
Oh boy.
And it got all over town. It was on the radio there. And it was just like, and then once I was on Howard and I did it in the studio one time. He brought this girl up and I go, no, that's a guy. And I'm not doing it. And it was a woman. And I was just saying it because I thought they were trying to trick me, but it was a woman.
Now, have you ever...
Yes.
You got good. Do you have good-looking girls at your show? Like good-looking enough where you'd be okay with doing that? Or
yeah, but sometimes, yeah, of course. Look, I mean, the majority were fucking hot. Okay. But I remember in upstate New York one time. I go, okay, need someone to come up stage, and eat some blue cheese there, and something moved. And got up, and there was a big shadow casted in the room. And then I was like, oh no. And as it started coming close to me, and everyone's like fucking going nuts. And I go, well, I got to do it. And she must have been, she had to be like 300 pounds,
Wow.
And that was like, sometimes you got to take a bullet with that,
In the name of art.
In the name of art. Because one night I got a mother and a daughter at the same time.
Whoa.
With the husband there.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Look at you sly dog.
It was unbelievable.
Any chance to get close to Bob Levy, right?
So you're a big fan of blue cheese?
No, I hate it.
Oh, okay.
Look, if you put ass and blue cheese, like I was like, it has to be something that is bad. You know what I mean? Otherwise it's too easy,
Yeah.
We're going to use whipped cream. That's like fucking a piece of cake.
It
So
masks the taste.
Mm-hmm.
How much blue cheese do you bring with you on the road? Do you go out and buy it that night, or what do you do?
No, the club would have it. Like if they didn't have it, I've used other stuff. In Philadelphia, I remember this big theater. I did it. It was a Chinese girl, and somebody had like the soy sauce, whatever. That
Soy sauce.
Yeah, and I ate that. And then the funny thing was when she bent over, a little string was hanging out of the front, and Beetlejuice goes, "Look, she got a tail," and we were just fucking laughing our asses off.
God,
beat!
Wow,
he was so much fun. It was incredible to just watch him, like just having the time of his life. He was like Sammy Davis Jr. with better eyesight.
So you know what? I like the way you're going with this, right? So we get to the show, we finally make it, right? We're in there pretty consistently. What was the first one? Killers of Comedy?
I think so. Yeah, that was. I remember. I mean, I was kind of on my own at the beginning, and then I remember we did a show with Sutter and John and Artie, and me and Artie got along, and he was like, "Yeah, we should do a show together." And I started, and then I booked him, and then John got mad, like I stole him from him. But like Artie didn't know what money, he didn't know what he was worth. You know what I mean? He knew something was happening.
Yeah.
And I was like, the first time I think he was making $2,500 a weekend with John. I think the first weekend I took him to Florida, made 15, and then I think they added 2 shows, and it might have been like 25 he ended up getting. But it just kept going up and up and up. And he would yell at his manager. He's like, "What the fuck? You just fucking you fat fuck! You're sitting around your pool." And this guy just got me 50,000 for one show, you know.
Right.
He had the pull that he had was amazing.
So you get on this. Now, keep in mind, we're on Howard Stern. We're feeling good. You are famous at this point, but you're not making any money from the Howard Stern show directly, right?
No, you don't, because it's like your job is to go on there, do good, and he's giving you the opportunity to promote what you do, and that's what happens. And I mean, when I was getting paid, it was nothing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
To do Miserable Man or whatever, the roast, but it didn't matter. It was all about getting the plugs and getting just being on there. That's where you make your money. It's a business. I was not, I was on a lot, but I wasn't part of the 4 or 5, you know what I mean? But you can do really good by doing it smart.
Now, do you still talk to Beetlejuice?
I haven't talked to him in a long time.
You follow him on Instagram? He seems to be pretty active now. Like
yeah, no, I Bobby's hooking him up with a lot of interviews, and he's always on there doing little clips and tapes and that stuff. Yeah, I love it. I love seeing him because he was just so much fun. He used to be at my house all the time. He'd cook. He'd it was like we'd be watching a movie. He knows what's going on in the movie. He's like, why would he do that to her? He's so much fun. And he would walk around like he wouldn't know what time it was. So he would go outside like 4:30 in the morning, 5 in the morning. He'd see my neighbors like going to work, and he's like, "Yeah, I own the house. I let Bob and his wife live there. Whatever. But the people were shocked. They're like, "Is that fucking Beetlejuice?"
Yeah. What would he cook? What would he cook for you? Do you have a favorite cuisine?
No, I mean, he would make like chicken. He can make, and he almost started a fire. There's a cartoon of it. It's it's a very Beetle Thanksgiving or something like that, and there's 2 of them, and one of them, it's like he put in pizza rolls and he just left them there, so the fucking house started smoking. And
Wow.
And he goes, "I didn't do that shit. You fucked it up." And I was like, but like he would barbecue, like barbecuing. He's like he knows, like he knows what he's doing a lot more than when you have Beetle and you treat him, like a man, it's cool. But if you go, "Oh, why are you so sad?" and that, like they did on it, and he get bummed out. That's why I would always say I would do with him a lot at the end when Beetle was there. I was always there because I make them do the pre-interview after, because I'm like, you don't say why you sad and then you bum him out, then he has to go into Howard. Right. So I'm basically like, do the pre-interview at the end, when you're doing the end interview. This fucking cat, my son's cat's all over the fucking place.
That's okay. So let me ask, you think he's rich? You think Beetle has do you think he has $1 million in the bank?
No, but
you don't think so?
No, but I'm just saying, is he rich, happy? Yeah, I mean,
right. Seems like he surrounds himself with good people. That guy, what's his name again? Sean? Not Sean. Sean and Bobby. Bobby's brothers, Yep. Bobby takes care of him now whenever, he visits him a lot and that. But, Beetle had a great time. He really enjoyed himself. So everything's going great. I sense, you're with Artie. Like you guys everybody's a crew. I know you weren't a main. I mean, listen, you were a main player on the show. If you knew the show, you knew Bob Levy. When did it start to come to an end? Did you see it coming, or did it just crash? Like what happened that you were just off the show?
Well, it was just starting to. It just wasn't working like it was. It was changing the show, I think, a little. And everything was happening, and Artie was all fucked up, and then I just said I'm fucking, then they were crying about the plugs, but they knew how everything goes through Howard, so he's making believe how did he get plugs, and I was like, fuck this shit, I'm done. I was just ready to go, and then it basically went to where I was banned from the building for attacking security, and that never happened. And then I threatened to kill Howard and his wife, and that was not. So it kind of ended like that.
So you could there have been a misunderstanding there? That's
No,
like
not
the
at all.
accusation.
I did it on like a show like this.
Oh, okay.
I did it on my own show like this.
Gotcha.
So they had a tape, and then the FBI was involved, and the NYPD Blue came to my house with my cops, and you know, it wasn't good. You know what I mean? I was on a lot of Xanax at the time.
Yeah, you like that stuff. You still do all that stuff, or what?
No, because I mean, I had to go to rehab for it.
So you don't do anything anymore?
Oh, of course I do. Are you kidding me?
What do you do? Can I ask?
Blue cheese.
Weed, man.
Yeah, I like the weed.
I use it for instead of pain pills from the accident. I don't use pain pills because I know how you can get addicted to that too. And I just did. I read up on weed. I listened to people, and I use edibles basically every day.
Good for you.
It really, it makes you think what you're going to say. I wouldn't, threaten to kill a whole family anymore. I'd be like, maybe I'm going to fucking, maybe I shouldn't say this.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what weed does for you.
So you're just not, when you were actively on the show, did you have direct contact with Howard? Like, did you have his phone number?
No, you don't have his phone number, but like you talk to him, he always seen you. Like if I was on, I'd get there early because I had a ride, pretty far. So I'd be there, and he'd look in, I'd be in the green room, and he's like, "Hey, how you doing? Everything going good?" And he was nice, you know what I mean? It was like it's when other people, it got too much. Yeah. It was too many people in charge at Sirius, you know what I mean? They brought in too many people, and you couldn't. If it got ugly, it got ugly, and then they would do anything, and it wasn't. I was trying to get Howard's attention. It didn't work well. You know what I mean?
It seems like with Howard too. Just for being a listener, he did always get upset with too many people in here. We need to toughen it up in here, and you always think it was a joke, right? Like it's a laissez-faire attitude around here. I'm gonna put my foot down. He has that whole thing. But then after a while, I mean, I don't know obviously all the ins and outs, but Marcy Turk comes in, and she's kind of like she's letting him know like, hey, you're a boss here. You're doing those things. So I think maybe he had that opportunity now to finally be like, and Sirius is a corporate place and all that.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe he was serious all those times when he was, dicking around, yelling at everybody, and that's really what he wanted this whole time?
No, I mean, when he was pissed off, he was pissed off. But I mean, like, no, it was pretty open there. I wasn't there during the Marcy thing, but I heard it was a nightmare.
Right.
And, it's like when you put other people in charge of something, and then things change, and people are gone, like DirecTV or Howard TV was gone. It was just gone.
That's what happened when I was a subscriber, and it just said like, effective on this date, we're ending this whole thing. And
and like you probably found out when Howard TV people found out. You understand? They weren't told. And that's fucked up because it was a family. And you can see how it's entertainment business, and it's a horrible it's a backstabbing thing to begin with, but it sooner or later something will always happen, and it's something, and most of the time it's not good.
So do you feel screwed over from the Stern Show?
No, I mean, I might have at that moment only because there was not from him, but I was just trying to get his attention, and that didn't work. But I'm saying, like, the opportunities he gave me, he let me do anything I wanted. I went from having, Miserable Men went from being 1 hour to a 4-hour show.
Right.
I mean, there was no other show that was doing that on that channel. And then I was hosting the roast and that. And it's like, I was always, involved. I write stuff, I do whatever, because it was a family. You're when you're on a team, you want to be on the best team. So if you can help the best team, do whatever you can.
And you're doing everything. You're on TV, you're on the radio, you're a constant figure on that show.
It was fun. It was fun, but it's overwhelming. Like sometimes, you'd come out feeling like God. but sometimes you'd get a beating, like, and that's okay because that's part of it, and it was real emotions. People got mad, people wanted to kill each other, but that's it. That's what makes it great radio.
Yep. So, all right, so we're out of there now. We're doing our thing. Miserable Men show. All right, so no, hold on. So you got Shuli, you got Brent, you got they're on the show. Who's on the Miserable Men show? Who the hosts?
Okay, it's me, Shuli, Brent Hatley, Mike Morse, original, Mark Burns, who was a fucking listener who used to call him and wrap up the show, and he's brilliant. We got Izzo Doe, who does he's the production and everything, genius. And I didn't forget anyone. And then Lenny's on. Yeah, Shuli. And then Lenny is a guy who wanted to be a regular, so he ended up drinking his own cum.
Wow.
3 times because he didn't listen to us as we were setting it up one time, and he just gulped it down. And it was just weird.
Yeah.
And now he's mad. He wants to quit the show because Mike Morse calls him Leonard, and he hates the name Leonard. So he's not mad about drinking his own cum 3 times. He's mad because he won't call him Lenny.
He's a fan of the show, and he wanted to be on it. So that's the same guy. So
and we had him on. Yeah, we've had him on a few times. Yeah, so we were like, okay, to be a member, you have to, whatever. And I don't know how they came up with, I think he tasted his own cum, and we're like, would you drink? And he's like, yeah. He said because he's tasted it because of the fact that he goes, well, it was on my hand. How am I going to clean it off? And, most people would say any other way besides eating it.
Right.
But I look, to each his own. And like, he's great on the show. And then we got this other guy, this big guy, Bobby, who's like, practically 400 pounds, but he's fucking hilarious. And, it's just like, these are like bit, you know what I mean? Like they can sit there the whole time, but when it's time to go, it's time to go.
Yeah.
They have them in the room because it's like 5 of us. We do the show, boom, boom, boom. Then maybe the last hour, last 45 minutes, we bring him in, boom, and we go from there.
So what can Rob do to be a member on the show? Like, would you even consider him, let's just say behind my back, he reaches out and he wants to be a key player on the show. Would you allow him? Or what would happen? Okay,
I know what we would do with him.
Oh God.
We would make him put on a Trump shirt and go into a lesbian bar and just start yelling shit.
Yep. Start doing my best Trump impersonation.
Yeah, and see what happens.
And then get beat up by lesbians.
Yeah.
And you have to
Wouldn't
get beat
be the
up.
first time.
Yeah.
Rob, listen, if you're interested in it, if you want to betray me like that and go to the heavy hitters,
I'd love to go to the heavy hitters, I'll go in any bar. I'm not scared.
Yeah.
Listen, Rob, he just wouldn't last a second in our world, Bob. He doesn't understand.
Yeah, you see, you just sit there and fucking peek out your window. What do you have, cactus there in case somebody tries to break in? They're afraid of they're like, is that cactus? I ain't getting cut. I'm not going in that fucking window.
Exactly. And
how lazy are you? How lazy are you that you had to get a cactus, something you can water once every 4 months?
Yeah.
Like you couldn't get a fucking real plant. It's like I'll just spit in it every once in a while.
Yeah, exactly. It's perfect for me. I can eat it, if I run.
Are you lazy? You seem that's the lazy thing right there.
Yeah,
so you must be lazy, right?
I'm a bit lazy.
No, he's cool. He has plants, Bob. He just has plants.
I have plants, but I smoke them when they're ready.
Yeah, baby.
You see, and
Clearly
it's a hobby. It's a hobby, and you can smoke it, and it's good for you. It makes me feel good.
Bob, do you drink out of a BPA-free water bottle? Something tells me you don't. Did you see what Rob just said there?
What is that? Let me.
You making fun of my water bottle?
I think it's great. Jesus. Bob does not have one of those. Isn't that
no? Like, does that hook up to your bicycle?
It does.
Like when you go riding, like you have a bike too, right?
Yeah, moped.
Okay, you see, it goes together. You see, I know what
we take public transportation.
We actually just take public transportation.
Only solar powered mopeds for me. They have to run on vegetable oil, or else I'm not doing it.
So you're all in today. You dabbled being a vegan.
No, never.
Come
Couldn't do
on.
it. Couldn't do it. I got canines. They're meant for meat eating. So
Okay,
But
nice.
I'm not so left.
He does the no, he's not so left, but he does the whole like I live in an overpriced apartment and I'm gonna make my life really inconvenient when I don't have to kind of guy. And then
don't know
like
what
thinks
you're
he's
talking
helping
about.
somebody somehow.
I'm
He'll be
helping
the
you.
Bob, he'll be the first one to call the cops on somebody too, but he wants to.
Oh yeah, like a loud neighbor, you know.
Oh
so,
yeah.
What's all the ruckus out there? Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I'm
That's
trying
what I
to
listen
I'm
to
trying
all
to
night.
water my plant. It's May.
Exactly. I got to spit in my cactus over here.
Where do you live again, Rob? Is it Jamaica Plain?
Roslindale. It's right next to
Roslindale.
Jamaica. Yeah.
Bob, you come out to Boston often or?
No, I haven't been in a while. I'm definitely coming back. I love the
Scared.
crowd. The crowds in Boston are fucking great. I love them. We used
Good
to do
sense of humor.
what's that theater out there? We used to do that all the
The
time.
Wilbur Theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you did that, huh?
Oh yeah, a few times. I fucking loved it, and I'm definitely going back.
Who's the most famous person in your cell phone?
That's weird. That is a good one. You're talking rock music.
Anything, any name that.
Rock music, I would say Rudy Sarzo from Quiet Riot.
No way.
With Ozzy, the greatest guy in the world too.
Which guy is that? That's not. Is that
He's
the
a bass
singer from
player. The bass player. He played with Ozzy when Sharon got him to go back on the road with Randy Rhoads and that. And him and Randy were best friends. And
all right, so we got the bassist from Quiet Riot. Who else do we got?
That's weird. I mean, I used to have like Ryan Phillippe. I used to have him.
What? Really?
Yeah.
He's a big fan of the show.
Oh, he's huge. I seen him in California. We're in California, right? And I'm outside, having a cigarette. And he's like, Levy. And I'm like, what's that? He goes, it's Phillippe. They won't let me in. You know what I mean?
This gorgeous Ryan Phillippe.
Yeah, he's like, he's the nicest guy. And my wife at the time, like, was in love with him, So I said, I go in to get her to come out. And I said, and she has like my jacket on. And I was like, you might want to take that off. And she's like, no. And then she goes out. She almost had a heart attack,
So you had his phone number.
Yeah, but I got I fuck up phones and I don't have it anymore. But I've definitely had some. I'm trying to think of who else that Artie would change his number every time. So.
I heard that he would always do that. And you don't talk to him right now, right?
I haven't talked to him in a while. It's like we wrote a crazy life, and I think it's like when you get clean, you kind of, they tell you to kind of stay away from people that you hung out with, and it was crazy times, and I understand that totally.
Yeah, no, definitely. So did you hang out with like the Joe Rogan crew? You know any of those guys? Like,
I know Joe.
Because it seems like all the comics that have been around for a long time, everybody knows Joe, right?
I used to work with him at Dangerfields all the time, and back in the day, and then we were in Vegas. And he was there. He came to the shows, and he goes, "You guys want to see the UFC?" And yeah, it was like, and that was when who's the black guy that had the chain around his neck? Real tough.
Oh, Rampage.
That was like when he was like, that might have been his second. Look at you acting like a man down there.
Oh, Rampage.
I love mixed martial arts.
It's crazy. Like at the beginning, like if you watched it, some of the matches, if you put on, like porno music, you would think that they were having sex because they're like all over each other. But it's amazing when you see it live. You're like, this is insane. These people are trying to kill each other. And I was like, fuck it. And they're in a cage.
Do you think it's weird? Like Joe Rogan, he's a comic. Then he becomes, he's a UFC guy. So he's like the tough guy, right? And then does like the Fear Factor, does the acting thing. And now he's like the most popular public figure ever. Isn't that weird? Like,
no, I mean, he's a smart guy, and he's a funny guy, and he is a tough guy. I mean, so like if you're good at all of it, you can do in each. You know what I mean? It's like, and everyone's coming after him now. I mean, I haven't seen him in years. I would love to do his show like now because I'm back and that. So maybe I'll hit him up, and
but guess
once
what?
it calms down, everything.
Guess what? Joe Rogan may be a tough guy, but you fought the ultimate tough guy, Danny Bonaducci.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Rob, obviously,
it.
if it's past, if
Yeah.
it's not 2015 or later, he doesn't know because he's a stud, right? He's all about being relevant. I see. He goes, "Who's Bob Levy?" I send him you smacking Danny Bonaducci in the face.
Yo.
But you know what? That was if you watch wrestling, that was set up.
But number one, don't ever say that again. Don't tell me that ever again.
I'm
It's
sorry.
organic.
Look, that tape was probably about 2.5 minutes because he was supposed to push me, like just to push me, and then but he didn't, and I kept going. You're small, you're orange, your shoes are too tight. I was out of stuff to say, and we had to cut it because he never pushed me, and it was like we didn't tell anyone around. The security,
that big guy,
that was real. That was real.
That's what I'm saying because he seemed pretty.
Because they didn't know. Wow. And the whole thing was I go, we can't tell them. I go, I can handle it. You know what I mean? Whatever. Because I took wrestling.
He grabbed you by the throat, right? That's what it looked like.
Well,
grabbed you by the throat and just slammed you down, right? That's not.
No, it was like across the room. It was it was funny. Like I think was it Bam's father was there too, and we didn't tell him. And when it was happening, my wife was
Rob.
Yeah, his father was
Phil.
Phil.
Yeah.
And my wife goes, "Oh, this is fake. Don't worry about it." Because he was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Because it happened for no reason, and that's why the security was like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
But why would you let Danny Bonaducci say all those mean things to you, on the show? Remember when you were when he was training, he takes his shirt off, he's walking around like a stud, and you're just sitting there in a jersey or something. I forget what you were wearing.
Yeah,
He's like, "Look at you. You washed up. You're like, I haven't done coke in 2 months," or something like that.
But that's what it was. It was like, fuck, I even thought Howard knew it was bullshit, but Howard made me, he goes, "You swear to God that would you swear on your kid?" And I wouldn't do it. And then he's and he goes, he goes, "Swear on your wife." And I go, "All right," because, it's probably not going to last anyway.
Right. So,
but that was the only time I ever lied to him, and you felt bad because I kind of thought, how do you not know that this is.
So Howard genuinely thought it was a real beef based off of.
I think at a certain point, or maybe he was just a good actor at it. Yeah. But I mean, if you couldn't, it was weird.
Did you make any money off of that boxing match?
Yeah.
Now, what kind of money did you make? Was it worth it?
Was it worth it? Was it worth it? It was worth it because I was able to train and all that stuff. And it just was good. I was a mess. I was still out drinking and that, but it was nice to be able to, to get trained by somebody that knew what they were doing and to get back into shape and all that stuff. It was fun. Everything's fun. If it's fun, do it. You know what I mean?
Was the match rigged?
It was supposed, the funny thing is that we were going over everything and it was supposed to be the final time that we all talked, it was supposed to be fuck around for 2 rounds. The third round will go real. You know what I mean? Because then it'll probably be a rematch. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, I start getting hit for no fucking, you know what I mean? And it's like, when you get whacked when you're not supposed to. And then he was shocked. He's like, "I've never seen, I hit you with everything and you got up." And he goes, I couldn't believe it. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm pretty stupid, But when by the time I realized it was too late, and that was okay. You got me. You know what I mean? It's okay. But
can I ask you how much money you made off of that? Am I allowed to ask those things?
Yeah, it wasn't a lot. It was probably $3-4 grand, but it was I was able to, you know what I mean? It was I'm going to use it for this. I'm going to,
Right.
It wasn't about the money because I actually thought at the beginning they said it's for Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. It was going to be they would get money, but I got paid in a fucking paper brown bag, please.
That's funny. Wow. Awesome. So how do we get in the comic world? How do people get rich? Is it, I got to get on a sitcom, I got to get commercials, or is it just a hustle game? And
it's everything. It could be anything. It could be everything. You know what I mean? It's just fucking the way I look at it, and some people, a lot of people look at it. If you're making a career out of what you do and you love it, you've made it. You know what I mean? You don't have to be on Howard Stern. You don't have to be, it's the greatest job in the world when you're on stage, when you can make people laugh. It's just so much fun.
Absolutely. And it seems like, I mean, you're literally doing what you love and you're able to support yourself doing that. I mean, it's a hustle. You'll probably do it for Amy, but you get creative. If you do get big, you get that lucky break and you make millions and all that stuff. That's great. But I think even just being able to make 50, 60K a year doing comedy, you know what I mean? Like that's great.
If it, whatever this person thinks success is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what it is in anything, it's like, what makes somebody funnier than somebody else? I don't know that, because most of the people that are really funny are not huge. It's like set up where if somebody's managed by, they have one big guy and then they have other people, they go, all right, you want the big guy, but you have to take these people.
Yeah.
And you'll see that, like, whoever at the time is a big manager, like the guy that had Kevin James, but he had like Ray, he had other people. So everybody gets that push.
Yep. No, for sure. Now, but you're not part of that. It seems like, this podcast out there left and right. I know you have your podcast and stuff. What usually pops up on my YouTube is like the Joe Rogans, the Theo Von, like Brandon Schwab, the Fighter and the Kid, all those things, right? You have no connection with those guys?
No, like Brandon, I don't know him.
Yep.
I mean, Joe Rogan, I know. Who else did you say?
I forget. Theo Von. You know that you got to know that dude with the mullet and stuff. You'll probably.
I know who it is. I mean, like my wife thinks he's funny, and her kid, and I was like, I don't really know who he is.
So how do we get? I mean, are you happy right where you're at right now, or what does a perfect career look like for Bob Levy from now moving forward?
From moving forward is like, now I am taking charge again. My thing is to, I'm making a comeback from, I got neck surgery last year. I'm feeling 70%, 75%, which is great, because I was at 10% at a certain time. So, I mean, we're going to start doing, like I said, theaters. I'm going to start backing stuff and putting together shows with me and Kevin Brennan and whoever we want to add, if we want to go bigger, or, we just throw a host, a friend of ours, and that's all we need, but it's so much better when, when you're dealing with fucking bookers and agents and that, like, I'll be like, well, that's not enough money. And I go, we need more. And they're like, well, if it does good, just stop this. You know what I mean? I'm not playing games with you. So I'd rather do it myself.
Now, you don't talk to Richard and Sal and stuff. I think it would be great to get them involved somehow.
No, I haven't talked to them since. Last thing I said to Sal was, I go, why don't you tell Howard the truth of what really happened? And he goes, I can't lose my job.
Yeah.
So I was like, you go.
Is that Baba Booey?
No, Sal Governale and Richard Christie. You'll know.
Spencer knows so much about it.
Yeah, but people are afraid to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no one's
in this business. You don't have. It's not like friends you grew up with. You know what I mean? You can be good friends with these people, but are they going to have your back? Probably not.
You don't talk to Stuttering John anymore?
When I do, I have no problem with John. If it's like people are afraid to, if Howard knew whatever, who knows what he could do? I don't know. But people don't take a chance, but that's okay. It's a business. I get that. But when this is all, when it's over, they're going to, hey, Bob, what's up? What am I going to say? Oh, we're friends again now. Okay. It don't work that way.
Do you talk to the Iron Sheik anymore?
No, I love him, but he was fun on the road. He was like, I mean, we were in Buffalo one time, and
Rob, do you know who the Iron Sheik is?
you know who he is.
Like the wrestler?
Yeah, I'm just another
Yeah.
guy on this earth that can kick your ass.
Yeah, and
Sure.
he's crippled.
Okay.
Mhm.
You know him.
I think I know him.
He goes USA, Russia #1, Iraq #1, USA.
You'll know
Huh.
this guy. He has the it's hard to explain.
Oh, those things that nobody can do. Those
Nunchucks?
No, they're like
dude.
these big pieces of wood.
Like big bowling pins almost.
Huh.
And you go like this, and it's like the hardest.
It's
thing,
almost
I guess.
impossible to do.
Wow.
Not many people can do it.
Well, Rob thinks that if you put your mind to something, you can do it.
You can do anything.
Yeah, but he was on stage, right? And he's like he couldn't, if we were up steps or something like that. Like I remember one night he had to stay on stage, and we built a little thing, bought him beers, but he had problems walking in that. And he's on stage, and I believe it was Buffalo or Pittsburgh, and the show's going great. All of a sudden, he comes close to the stage, and because people would go nuts when he came on, it was just great. And somebody like fucking swiped his leg out, and he went crashing down, and we like fucking tried to get the guy.
The Iron Sheik.
He ran into the audience. The guy ran through the audience, and we're like, kick his fucking ass. I remember like people just fucking all over the guy, but it was like, it's like weird. Like people, they think they can touch you when
You're right.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
I've had people. I was just in California recently, and there was a guy in the audience, and I just go to him. He had like a cowboy hat on, like it was in California, but it was like more out, way out there. I can't even remember what town it was, but it was like a small hillbilly kind of town. And I said, you rode, I go, look at you. I go, you never rode a horse. And he goes, yes, I have. And then he said he's going to kick my ass. And I go, no, you're not. And he stands up, and he has a bottle in his hand, and he fucking smashed it on the table, and he comes at me with it.
How long ago was this?
A few months ago.
Jeez.
And I'm like, I go, and I actually said, this isn't happening. And he keeps coming closer, and I'm just waiting. He gets a little closer, and I fucking kick him in the chest because he's like coming towards me. I didn't flip out or anything and get all, like, oh my God, or run off stage. I'm like, this is on, you know what I mean? And then after I kicked him, like my wife was coming up next to him because like she was shocked too. And I just kicked him, and then they got him. And I go, look, I'm not ending the show. I go, comedians get mad because somebody won't stop talking and they'll walk off. I go, I'm finishing this. And I finished it, and I fucking destroyed.
Hell yeah.
But it's crazy.
You almost got killed. I mean, literally, you were in a
mean,
Western fight. What do you mean,
No, he was slow. He was like slow. I mean, look, he was probably, I'm 59. He was probably 62, 63. I knew that it wasn't going to be like, I see him coming straight. He's coming straight. There's only one angle coming at me. And I was like, once he gets close enough, because he's not just standing there. He's coming towards me. So I just timed it out, and thank God I could have went like this, like the Karate Kid. I could have put my hands up and raised, but if I would have missed, I would have fucking looked bad then.
Yeah.
And it would have been legendary if I would have.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, I don't know if this is a sensitive subject, but I'm going to ask it. Do you really think that Dave Chappelle stole that joke from you? I'm going to beat my...
You dick like it owes you money.
Right.
Yeah.
Rob, have you heard that before in life?
What was it again?
I'm going to beat my dick like it owes me money or something. Beat that.
Yeah.
Have you
I don't
heard
know,
that
no.
kind of?
No, it's not
I've
familiar.
just heard it. But on the Stern show, it was broadcasted that Bob felt that he created that joke and that Dave Chappelle stole it from him.
No, it's not like that. But I'll tell you exactly what happened. Okay. Basically, no, I actually started in '86. I started. Okay. And that was a joke that was in a section of, like a masturbation kind of bit I was doing. and then I moved it to the beginning thing because it would work at the beginning. Boom. It's a great way to just break the ice. We're at Caroline's. He comes in with his group of people. Okay. People that work for the show, writers and that stuff. And like, he was basically, he's at the bar, he was backstage. They were sitting in there, and basically in like 2 or 3 months, the joke is on, and it's basically a writer. If you're a writer, right, and you're getting paid a lot of money, and I've heard this happens a lot in the business, if you can't write, if you don't have good shit, you're going to get fired.
Right.
So people said that, they always do that to comics, but I had no idea about that. And it was just weird. And I wasn't going to say, I can just keep writing and whatever. It doesn't fucking matter to me. But, they were like, you got to call in with that. You got to call in because he's going to be there. And then at the end, he's like, oh, maybe we just, we thought of the same thing. We're both genius, something like that, whatever. But it was like, it was somebody he was with. I think
some of these comics can sleep well at night going like, I didn't do it. Right. But one of the writers probably did. Right.
Well, yeah, because you don't know what you're not going to check. You can't check everything where everything came from, Sure. But when it happens like that right in front of me, it was definitely taking, and everybody's going to take Dave's side because he's Dave Chappelle and I'm me. So right away, and then it'll be like, oh, that's an old joke. Well, you're telling me you take an old joke then. No, it doesn't. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're making yourself look worse by doing that. But of course, I'm not going to win an argument. But even though I wouldn't have wanted, it's not about winning it. It's a point that, it happened. So whatever.
Well, again, just another great moment for the show for me. Are you rich?
Yeah, thank God for that car accident.
Oh, yeah. So wait, you really got into a car accident? Like what happened?
Yeah.
That didn't make world news, unfortunately. I wish it did.
Well, yeah, I was just at a red light, and I got a drunk driver hit me from behind. Boom, boom. And it was just so fucked up. But I wouldn't say I'm rich, but I'm, it's like I got paid for being off,
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But I suffered. I did. Like, it was brutal what I had to deal with. But, right now it's like I'm going to use a lot of, I'm going to use money to do what I want to do, like promote my own shows with people who I think are talented, and, be able to go, here's your money. You're guaranteed this. You know what I mean? And that's what I want to do. I want to come back and make it a huge thing again with people that I like.
Well, I hope that happens. Awesome. I feel like you got a good thing going on with Brent and Shuley and the gang there.
Oh yeah, we have fun. We have fun, but we're just bad advertisements. We don't know how to. We're not good at it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, we got to really put it out there because this show's really getting funny, and we need more people listening.
Yeah, no, you just got to have it where literally if I'm like, Bob Levy, what's he up to? People get those spurts, right? And I just type in Bob Levy on YouTube and it's like, boom, miserable man or whatever. What's Shuley up to? I remember something happened, right? And then it's, that's at least what happens with me. I don't really listen to the show that much anymore, but I remember those key players. So I'm like, every once in a while, I like to check up on you. So that's why it's very exciting to have the opportunity to interview you.
Yeah, because like he Shuley's a great guy, but he's like, am I going to stay here and maybe make less money now,
right?
And not have health insurance, which is fucked up to be, to be taking away from people.
So Rob, if you don't know real quick, can I just interrupt? Yeah. And Bob, you can correct me. So Shuley was on the show, key player on the show. Oh, and didn't really have a seat in the chair, like in the Artie chair, but he was on there all the time, right? Correspondent. So what happened, Bob? They told him, we're gonna have you just do part-time now. You can be on the show, but we're cutting your benefits and all that stuff.
And this is what it'll be, and you can't and basically you're not allowed to kind of talk about anything that happened on the show or whatever, like right. And when you think of it's like, what, I can go on my own and be able to say what I want now. So it's like, it's a decision, and you're living in, Queens, and it's like, and the neighborhoods are going to shit. There's fucking people fucking marching. There's people fucking, shitting in his fucking driveway.
Yeah, he has a family.
It's too much. You got to think of your family once in a while.
Yeah. So he bounced.
Mm-hmm.
So he took the road of doing things on his own, and it looks like you guys are kind of doing anything together. How's Brent? I see. I can't look at Brent's stuff because I need to pay for his whatever on Twitch and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, but he's a classic. I follow Caitlin though.
Yeah. They're swingers. They
This is true, Rob. They're swingers from Tampa.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like kind of weird. Like, it's like I'm pretty fucked up, but I can't see doing that. You know what I mean? It's like,
So that's real. That's not a gimmick. He watches Caitlin, but does he? I don't understand how the whole thing works. He doesn't do stuff with the guy, or that's so he says, right?
So he says. I mean, yeah, but I mean, like when you're in that kind of thing, like, you know what I mean? It's like, you reach for a beer and it's a cock and you're like, oh, can you let go of it? Oh, no, I thought it was can you let go of it? No, but yeah, it's like, it's weird because he basically says he doesn't have an orgasm when he's, and she doesn't have, and I'm like, why are you doing it? Like, but that's what it is. We were trying to. But it's like they go to this place. It's called Secrets in Florida. They were saying, and they
saw that on Instagram.
Yeah, every weekend, and it's like, I guess it's like a carnival or whatever. But like, it's so weird. It's like, how can you? I mean, you're basically saying, "Hey, fuck my wife." It's like, why are you married then?
So, but the only way he wouldn't get, let's say if you banged Caitlin, he'd be pissed at that. But if you had your wife in there, everything's cool.
Yeah, or if I brought a neighbor or something, you know what I mean?
Right.
I think you just have to bring somebody. I think that's how you get it. Yeah. Well, I think no, you can just walk in there. You can just walk in there and go, "Hey, I got the dick."
But if you walked in there just on your own at Secrets, they'd say, "Get the hell out of here!" Right?
No, they would let you in. Yeah, I think you can go in like that because we talked about that, because it's the weirdest thing. It's like, people getting mad, like fans getting mad at, like, he has like stalkers because of his lifestyle and the way, like, and he tries to, if somebody's a stalker, you kind of just ignore them. But he'll write back and like he's intelligent, and he'll be
watch
like
those things, on Instagram. Every once in a while, he'll respond to somebody with pretty witty stuff.
Yeah, and on Twitter, and he's like, "But the fact of the matter is, and it's like, what the fuck? They're not going to go away because that's what they live for. They live for you giving a reaction. You know what I mean? I don't have time for hate. Like I don't really have a problem with people because I'm nice to them. I'm nice to everybody. I talk to everybody. I'm like, why am I on here if I'm just gonna put up my shit and ignore people? I used that time, especially during the accident. I was home. It kept me alive. You know what I mean? That in South Park, I started watching every episode of South Park, and I'm just like, it kept me alive, and I was like, this is the greatest show ever.
Have you been to Shuli's house in Alabama?
No, they don't allow Jews there. No, I'm kidding.
That was a big move. That's a big move that he made.
It really was. But, it's like you have to think. Sometimes you got to think of your family. You know what I mean? It's not all about, even though you would think in the way we are, it is about us. It is all about us all the time. And then after a while, you go, they've put up with a lot of shit. And, I like the kind of family kind of stuff. I dig it, because a lot of times, you weren't around. You were around all day, but you're out and, you miss things because you're fucking away in Chicago and it's your son's birthday, 7. You know what I mean?
You weren't a cop before, were you? I just had that in my head. I thought I heard that before. You weren't a cop you were never a cop, right?
No, I was the opposite. I was the opposite.
I think it was Joey Buttafuoco's.
No, I remember
girl.
him.
You remember that whole thing? What was his name? Lou or something? I don't know. He was a cop or something like that.
Yeah, and then she was real nice. I liked her a lot.
What are you laughing at, Rob?
I don't know.
The word Buttafuoco is
I think
fucking
that's
hilarious.
what it was.
It is He came to a show in California, and I seen him there, and I fucking ripped him apart. He was just so mad, but he was just he seemed like such a douchebag, and especially.
Rob, do you know who Joey Buttafuoco is?
It sounds so familiar. Yeah, I don't
Bob,
know.
why don't you tell him what happened?
He was banging an underage girl who ended up going to his house and shot his wife in the face.
She was like 16, right at the doorstep.
Did
Shot her right in the face.
Killed her?
No, but she had a mouth like a puppet.
Whoa.
After that, yeah.
Holy shit.
But the whole thing is that like, the way that he was lying at the beginning and to put your family at in a risk like that, with somebody that shot, it fucked her up. And she's a nice lady, a really nice lady.
But get this though, she loved him so much, at least what I heard. She was dating a Joey Buttafuoco impersonator after.
What?
Right, Bob? Did you hear that?
And he also did Elvis. No, I didn't know that. I have no idea about that.
Well, you know what else bothers me?
Well,
I don't think you know anything about my podcast, and I don't think you know that I had 6 episodes that you had full access to, but you didn't listen to them, did you?
Me?
Yeah.
What do you think? I'm gonna I don't even listen to fucking comedy. I don't even listen to people's stuff.
This is the next big thing, Bob.
Why is my nose fucking itchy tonight? I swear to God, I didn't do coke.
The damn cat rubbing its
nose. You know what?
on
I might be fucking allergic to these fucking things.
Bob, don't change the subject. I'm giving you the opportunity right now.
Okay, go ahead.
To promote me on all of your platforms because it's going to help all.
Well, no, you listen. You tag me. I fucking put it out there, and then I fucking then I copy it and go, "Hey, listen to this show." You see, I do it double. I'm good like that.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
listen,
like these other fucking scumbags.
But you made a big mistake because I'm such a big fan, and to me, this is my in. Because you just
I'm drinking out of that blue bottle. Look at it. Look at it.
I know.
Look
free.
Like a little baby. Like a little baby.
He's adorable.
Yeah, it's so cute. Look
He's
at it.
saving the environment. But listen,
one cup of water at a time, bitches.
I want to come over and I want to have a barbecue with you. I want to hang out with you and Shuli, and Brent.
I want Beetlejuice to cook me pizza rolls.
Hey man, it's nothing like it when Beetle cooks. Well, you don't eat it. You know what I mean?
Of course not. Of course not.
They're too dangerous.
What's the craziest thing you've ever seen him do?
Well, okay, we were in Louisville, Kentucky, and it was one of these liquor companies, like a big one, like Jack Dan or whatever the fuck it was. It was like a bottle like that. They made me one that said that the label was changed to Reverend Bob Levy, and it had everything from whatever the liquor was. And I was like, this is amazing. This is the greatest thing. So I put it somewhere, right, before the show. And I walk up there and I see Beetlejuice pouring that, like, whiskey and fucking vodka together, and he's drunk, and I'm like, give me that fucking thing, and then he's screaming at it. We were separated because he was going to kill me. Okay, he was losing his mind. And at that show, at the end, they didn't have blue cheese, they had peanuts, like little peanuts. And we were pouring, like, a little bag, you open it, and we poured that in the girls and spit it out like Triple H. That's how I always did it. And then after the show, we go upstairs. There's 2 girls. There's a girl blowing Beetle upstairs in front of a group of people, like 30 people. We don't have it on tape. It's never been on tape. And another girl starts blowing. They're blowing them back and forth, and we're like, "This is hilarious. This is great." And then afterwards, the one girl looks over to me and Florentine, like, "What are you guys doing later?" And we're like, thinking, "You just blew Beetlejuice, and now you're fucking gonna hang out. Like, I'm not gonna get his fucking leftovers."
Yeah.
But it was probably the funniest thing I ever seen, because he's sitting there like, You know what? I think I'm allergic to cats. Could that be true?
It could.
Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing. You need to get some cactuses in there.
No, but they've been in the house. I put them down in the studio now. Into my son. My son's buying a house, which is
Congratulations.
He plays in a fucking band. They're fucking amazing, man.
What's the band called?
Fat Mez.
Well, guess what? You just earned Fat Maz almost 1,000 subscribers.
Nice.
Okay?
They go on what is it? They're on Facebook basically. They're making good money for a fucking band, you know.
That's tough now.
That's what. Yeah, I want to have some bands on here because it's a whole different way to make money. It's no more record deals and all that kind of stuff, you know. But Bob, do you have any questions for me?
Why do you look like Triple H without hair?
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. You don't even understand how much of a compliment that is.
Yeah.
But look at my bone structure.
Oh my God. You fucking goddamn, you should be in a Geico commercial.
Yes.
Thank you.
I have a not as bad as him.
He's adorable. Rob's made of porcelain.
Yeah.
I am made of porcelain.
Yeah, but like, what happened? Like, did you get like hit with a baseball bat? Like, what? Why?
And you know, it's only been men that tell me how ugly I am.
Have you ever got like rain? Has it ever? It's never gotten your eye.
Hey, I worked in a residential home.
Yeah.
And there was a girl, she was like 11 years old, and she's just staring at me, and she said the exact same thing.
Really?
She's like,
when it rains.
Yeah, when it rains, like, do your eyes not get wet because your eyebrows are, and she's just going on, and I'm like, that is so mean.
Fucking unbelievable.
But yeah, look at my face.
But what happened? Like, were you like born like that? Like, what did you fall? Like,
Many
I don't
falls,
know. I immediately got into a boxing match as soon as I was born. I got right in the ring and
fucking put him back in.
But listen, I got like tattoos now, you know, Roman numerals. I got a little muscle on me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you should be a little nervous, Bob. I mean,
well, I'm pretty fucking crazy, man. I don't have to.
Yeah, you're that guy that just doesn't go away. I feel like
no, it's just like I watch everything. I you know what I mean. I'm always ready for something to happen.
So me and Rob are coming towards you.
Yeah.
You even acknowledge Rob's existence? Like you focus on me, or like?
Yeah, no, it's totally a focus on you. It's like I throw her right to you, and then I come back with an elbow to him. Like it's not even like
he's just standing there.
Yeah,
support, waiting to eat the elbow.
The wind.
I get a cactus. I get one of his cactus, and I grab a knife, and I go, I'm gonna fucking take this fucking cactus out.
I'll fucking kill it.
But how many you need? Truthfully, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're fucking out of your mind. There's over 10 there.
It's an oxygen. There's more oxygen in my one.
You are fucking so fucking left. You're out of your mind.
They actually voted for Biden. Each one of those. So.
No, but do you understand? You think that you're having more oxygen in your house because of that. You know how you get more oxygen in your house? You gotta go to the window and open it.
Oh, I can't open the window. There's too many carbon emissions out there.
Oh, shit. My God.
I'm scared of the air.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
are you really? Are you like afraid of everything? Like, are you afraid of like of a girl that slept around? You wouldn't have sex with her.
I did a lot of acid in my 20s, Bob.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
So
I'm a little mellow, but I'm not crazy.
Okay, no, that's okay. Look, drugs was always fun. If you know how to use drugs, it's really good. Like mescaline, I used to take when I was younger, and it's acid, and it was like you can be up all fucking weekend. You can
Did
drink.
you ever do heroin?
No.
Never. You love coke.
Once by accident. Let me explain it. Okay. Me and my friend in Staten Island, we were working at a gas station. It was 24 hours. So we would basically be overnight and that stuff. One of my friends from the bar came and he goes, you want to do a line? And we thought it was coke. It was, we both were throwing up, and then he robbed us.
Oh,
damn.
Yeah. So I did it once by accident, but it was the most horrible thing ever. I just don't get it when you
already snorted coke. That was his thing, right? He didn't shoot it. He would snort it.
No, he would never shoot. He always said something about like he could never use a needle and that stuff. But like I had no idea when he was on heroin. I had no idea. I thought he was just drinking. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's the same kind of thing. I'm like, man, you know, he did drink a lot. I used to drink more, I think, than him, which was shocking. But I always thought it was from that. And then when I found out, it was like, because he used to he used to say, "What are you doing coke for? It's fucking horrible." Like we were walking in like Vegas, and some guy goes, "What's up, Levy?" Shakes my hand. I fucking, half a gram, in there, and I was like, "Look at this," and he goes, "Throw that fucking shit out," and he was like so against it, and then he totally got carried away with it at the end,
Yeah, really sad.
He said, "Throw that in that garbage can, and I'll come back later and get it." He said, but he
All
said it
for
as
me.
a joke. But
Yeah,
he was so against it. And he said that shit will fuck up your life, and it did fuck up his life.
yeah.
And hopefully, he's getting his nose fixed.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he's like,
Rob, you know what happened to Artie's nose, right?
I've definitely seen the picture just like flat.
Yeah, he's snorting
no
glass.
septum or something.
Mhm.
There was glass in the coke or something like that, and he didn't see it. And he snorted all
Fiberglass
of
or
it.
some shit.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to do it. You know what I mean? Truthfully, I think just too much of it will collapse your nose. It will, and like right now he has anxiety. Like I knew he had that. But that's something. It changes everything because when you have anxiety, it overwhelms you. I've had that too when I got out of rehab. I got it really bad, and you have to work on that. Otherwise, you start to flip out. You know what I mean? And it's hard to if you want to do comedy or anything.
Yeah, I know. It certainly takes a toll on you. But the good news is, you guys all seem to be doing great. Everybody's landing on their feet. Everybody's doing their own thing. You get a show tomorrow night, Bob?
Yeah, we're gonna be at where we at Tiff's Comedy Club in Morris Plains, New Jersey, and then we're doing like some guy just put together something in Pennsylvania that's sold out. That'll be a nice little 175 people or something like that. So it's cool. Everything, I did a show for Compound Media today. I did Levy Land on there as a pilot, and hopefully they pick that up. Because I love going on there. Anthony is unbelievable. I go on In Hot Water with Chino and Aaron Berg, and like, I've known Chino forever, and Aaron's like one of the most talented all around, comedians out there today.
What do you have to promote for me? What else is going on? What if I want to know what's going on with you? Where can I find you? Where can the fans do their research on you?
Well, they on Twitter it's now Levy_Sir, because I got thrown off of there a few times. So now I came back with the Sir thing, like I'm knighted, so they made not throw me off. And then Facebook is 3 Bob Levy's, and then I have the Reverend Bob Levy, and then Instagram is Levy Bob. I don't know Instagram that good.
You're doing great. You responded to me on the messenger, so
no, because I do that. You know what I mean?
Very classy, very classy of you.
I mean, no, it's just that. What are you gonna do? Not, I don't understand how people can go on there and just ignore people that are talking to them. Now another cat. These fucking cats are killing me. I swear to God. I think
you're a cat lady.
No, I didn't know.
Carol.
I didn't know.
Yeah, Carol.
Yeah. You see, that's when I was trying to get her. I'm trying to get her on Kevin Brennan's show. He likes like weird guests like that once in a while. But are you allergic to your cats at all? Like you get like itchy like this? I'm like, I never really. The other night, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Because they used to be upstairs. Now they're downstairs. We're redoing everything.
Look at you. You got a lot of big things going on. We just got to figure out this allergy.
Well, that's what I never knew I was allergic to them, but it's like fucking, it's unbelievable. It's like somebody's got a feather tickling my nose.
The world is trying to kill you. Accidents.
But it's not going to happen.
Nothing's happening.
I'm telling you.
Stronger, damn it.
I went to the fucking, I had to get all these lung and heart tests to be put under for the operation. They can't believe that I'm fucking like, they go, your lungs is like you never smoked. And I was like, well, that's it. Thanks for telling me that, because I'm going to smoke more now.
Yeah.
At least they could have lied to me, but like my heart, my blood work I had done recently, it's perfect. You know what I mean? I'm like, how? This is not, I'm a vampire. I have to be.
Bob, keep doing what you're doing. I'm excited for you. We're excited for you.
Oh, it's good.
You know what I'm excited for?
Why?
I'm excited about grilling, baby. You want to
Grilling?
know why? Grilling.
Oh, I thought you said growing.
No, grilling.
He's
I thought you wanted
growing.
you're gonna grow weed or something.
Summer's right around the corner. Now,
Grilling.
sometimes we might have some stuff left over from last year, but other times we need to re-up our seasonings. We need to get new equipment.
New flipper thingy.
Maybe get a new spatula.
Oh,
all right.
Yeah.
If you go on www.grillyourassoff.com,
Yeah.
find all those things, Bob. And I know you love grilling. You and Beat do. And when you go on there, if you type in the promo code section, Reality Tonic, because that's the name of this podcast. I know there's no way you knew this. The name of the podcast is Reality Tonic. You put that in there, 15% off. And guess what? You can do it over and over and over again.
Well, you're going to send me that link because I am doing the whole outside again too over, and I need a new grill. I need a new spatula. I even need the long the fork on
the gauge, the thermometer
long
thing.
Fork, yeah.
Yeah, the long fork. And
how about some seasonings? You want some seasonings?
Dude, when you have the right ones on a steak, it's fucking amazing. Like people say, who does it? It's not an expensive place.
Yeah, it's grillyourassoff.com.
Yeah. but Longhorn Steakhouse.
I have never been there.
Dude,
one right down the road. I've never been to one.
If you've been to Outback sucks compared to it. Like, you know what I mean? And look at it. I'm itchy all over the fucking place now. You motherfucker.
You still look great.
I do. I'm a darling looking fuck, but I'm like itchy. I'm like a fucking coke addict. I feel like right now. No, it's weird. I have no idea I was like this, because I have dogs my whole life, and now fucking pussy gonna take me down. Huh?
Takes every man down at some point.
Yeah, but I'll order some shit. They got good grills and that shit. I don't
know if they even have grills.
Oh, what are you fucking lying to me?
I said they have gear.
Gear is a grill.
Well, check it out for yourself, Bob.
It's veteran owned too.
Is it?
Veteran owned, grillyourassoff.com.
Would I allow that sponsor if I was so, blue?
Mm-hmm. You hear that? He's like, if we can just get rid of the ass part and just like maybe even the grilling part.
Maybe it could be grill your buttocks off.
And like, let's just grill veggies.
So what do they have? What do they have? They have spices. What else?
Yes, they have spices.
Yes,
yes, I do. They have spices. They have clothing. They have
clothing.
Like, shirts.
Yeah, swag. Okay. I know what clothes. I know what that.
Sorry.
I was like
swag.
You went from fucking spices to fucking outwear. I'm fucking.
They got spatulas. You know what? I'm not doing the work for you.
They probably have a grill cleaner.
I want you and all your friends. I want you and all your friends to go on grillyourassoff.com and find out for yourself.
Okay, you know what? Because if I like this stuff, okay, I can use it on chicken. I can use it. Okay.
Oh yeah. Baby.
If I'm gonna try it, and I'm gonna put out my honest thing, and I like a lot of stuff.
And what promo code are you gonna use?
20% off.
It's 15. And what's the name of this podcast? That's all you have to put in.
Hold on a second. I'll tell you. Wait, I'm gonna take a guess and say.
Guess.
Wait,
he's gonna get it wrong.
Sarcastic.
No, wrong.
Reality.
No, that's just the email, buddy.
Oh no, it's under your name there.
Can you read that? It's
Reality Tonic. If you're not going to Reality Tonic, you're probably getting the wrong seasoning.
That's right. No.
How's that? You see?
Yeah, it's grillyourassoff.com. Type in Reality Tonic in the promo code, and we're all gonna get rich, Bob. I'm taking you with me.
I'll add more cactuses too.
Yeah.
God, it's like he's in Arizona right now.
Yeah. Boston, baby. This is a fake background anyway.
I can't be doing this. Like these cats cannot stay down here, right?
Oof, yeah.
Because this is bad, right? This is like fucking. My eyes aren't like stuff, but I'm like itchy.
This is watch out.
We need to end this podcast because Rob has to write in his journal.
It's getting a little bit past my bedtime.
Wait a minute. Do you write? You have a journal?
Of course I have a journal.
Why?
You don't have a journal?
Dear diary.
Dear diary, today was beautiful.
But what if somebody finds that and they laugh?
Well,
That's my thing. That's why I don't have a journal because I'm like,
Yeah.
if someone sees this thing, that's
I don't have
embarrassing.
a diary. I'm just
I jerked off on a cactus. How do I clean it? You know, how do you
I just
clean
go
a
above it and just hit my balls on the cactus.
You ever do it real slow? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's just enough. You see, but like, it doesn't look good on the windowsill. It looks like you just threw a bunch of shit up there.
He
I
thinks
will
that, but that's
tell-
the new hip way.
I will tell my girlfriend.
Oh, you have a girlfriend?
No, it's his partner, and don't be disrespectful.
Okay,
It's his
I like
partner.
it. Okay. So, like,
Don't you dare be
no, but like, who orders them when you're at a parade? You two.
We hire someone to come by, and they must drive an electric car. So
Yep.
You see, you're all into this. You went fucking 100%. Do you have You have an electric car? Or you're gonna get one?
no, I have a Subaru though.
He does
baby.
have a Subaru, so it's all. He's
okay.
right there.
All-wheel drive, baby. Need to get around the snow.
All right, folks. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. I'm going to end it here.
Okay, goodbye.
And Bob, thank you so much for your time.
Wake up to reality,